Well, it looks like those prepackaged foods that we buy for young children, they contain high amounts of added sugar and sodium. A new study shows 41% of infant mixed grains and fruits included at least one added sugar. And get this, a whopping 72% of toddler dinners were high in sodium. Experts advise parents to read labels carefully, but what do you really need to look for? Well, Ada's on your side with answers. So joining me now is registered dietitian Abigail Darty, and it makes your grocery shopping trip a lot longer when you.
It does,
So important.
But it really is so important, and it's really important too. We just think about the foods that our toddlers eat now really shape their taste buds for later, and then their health for later on. So it is important. It does take a little bit longer in the beginning, but some things to look for. Sodium, obviously, or salt. You want to go for 150 milligrams or less, or a total of 1,500 for the day.
Okay.
Sugar, you want to be aware of it and go for 10 grams or less.
Okay.
They try to be like really sleuthy on the label. You kind of have to be a little bit of a detective, but sugars end in OSE. So like dextrose, fructose, sucrose, yes.
That's what you don't want.
Exactly. So you want to make sure that that's not there, and look at the ingredient list.
Right.
You want it to read more like a recipe and be kind of short and sweet.
Right.
And
you don't want all these additives you can't pronounce.
Yes. And so if you see one of those sucrose or OSE words listed in the first couple ingredients, you definitely want to put that back on the shelf.
What else are you looking for calorie and fat content, or not as much?
Those things for this, I really like to look at the ingredient list, because you can find out a lot about what's in the food just by looking at the ingredient list.
And the more whole the food, the better?
Exactly.
Especially with kids, right?
Yeah, and the best thing is when you find foods that don't have a nutrition label at all, like fruits and vegetables. Those are going to be the best ones.
I don't have to read those. I don't have to read those. That makes so much sense, right?
Exactly. I love those. And again, this is not to make you feel guilty about giving your kids packaged food, but it's just about being aware of it and then reading the label, looking at the foods you're putting in. And so if you do go for those packaged foods, maybe pairing packaged with fresh. So if you have something, you can either add, chopped up veggies or add fruit on the side, something like that. So you're still getting that fresh component in there.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Oh, thank you.
All good advice. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
We appreciate it, Abigail.